Turns out that Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, was very supportive of the US potentially going to war with Venezuela, but more importantly, essentially kidnapping the leader of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro. Now, why would he be so excited and happy about that?
Welcome back, folks, and buckle up. We're diving into a transcript that's got more twists than a pretzel factory. This speaker is trying to paint a picture, but let's just say their brush is let's just say it's a little biased. We're going to break down the real information, cut through the BS, and get to the truth behind the headlines. Let's roll the tape.
Well, it turns out that Israel will be receiving its first crude oil shipment from Venezuela in decades. The last time they did so was 2009. And this is, of course, following the US kidnapping of former Venezuelan president Nicolás Maduro. Now, according to Bloomberg, which broke this story, the cargo is being transported to Bazan Group, Israel's top crude processor. People with knowledge of the deal said, asking not to be identified because the information isn't public. Now, Bazan operates the largest oil refinery in Israel. It is located where my maternal grandmother was born, Haifa, Palestine, as her birth certificate notes. Now, Venezuelan officials are denying the shipment, likely because they're embarrassed, but there's no indication that Bloomberg reporters are lying about this. Like, why would they lie about it? That's ridiculous. I totally believe it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Kidnapping? Let's pump the brakes on that dramatic language. When a dictator like Maduro starves his own people and destabilizes a whole region, the term isn't kidnapping. It's called strategic pressure. The US has a vested interest in global stability and energy security, especially when rogue regimes are involved. It's not about some nefarious oil deal. It's about dealing with bad actors and protecting our interests. And frankly, the interests of our allies. And that is what's most important.
Especially when you think about how supportive Israel was of the US actions against Venezuela earlier. Now, last year, during the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, the Bazan facility was constantly targeted by Tehran's missiles. One of those missiles managed to hit a building within the facility, causing the death of 3 employees, later identified as Avraham Daniel, Igor Fradkin, and Yuri Levy. And currently, Israel's political leadership is egging on more war with Iran. So congratulations to the people of Israel. Now, prior to Maduro's capture, much of Venezuelan oil was sold to China. But things have changed. Following the abduction of Nicolás Maduro, Venezuela is forbidden from exporting its oil to China. And now it's being sent to India, Spain, the United States, and of course, Israel. And when the cargo arrives, it would mark the first shipment of its kind since 2009, when then President Hugo Chavez severed his ties with Israel. Now, why did he do that? Because he saw Israel for what it is, an immoral regime that carries out atrocities, kills innocent people, and steals land.
And there it is. The speaker frames this as some sort of negative. But let's be real. Diverting oil from China, a geopolitical rival, and redirecting it to our allies like India, Spain, the US, us, and then also Israel, that's not a problem. That's a strategic win. We're talking about energy security and limiting the resources of our adversaries. It's about ensuring reliable supply chains for friendly nations, not just lining our pockets. This right here is smart geopolitical politics, folks. That's the best part of it.
So Venezuela broke all diplomatic ties with Israel, condemning its actions in the wake of the 2008-2009 Israel-Gaza war. This was the war before the genocide. And then on April 27th of 2009, Venezuela's then foreign minister, Nicolás Maduro, met with the Palestinian National Authority foreign affairs minister in Caracas, where formal diplomatic relations were established between the Palestinian people and Venezuela. And as you can imagine, Israel don't like that. They don't like that. They want the entire globe to think that the Palestinian people are what the Israeli government is: vicious, evil, pedophilic in some cases. Now, funds from Venezuela's oil sales are deposited into a restricted account in Qatar, subject to U.S. approval to pay public sector salaries and essential services.
Aw, the classic US is just Israel's puppet narrative. Give me a break. The US Israel alliance isn't some charity project, folks. It's a strategic partnership rooted in shared values and mutual security interests in a volatile region. Supporting Israel means supporting a democratic ally against hostile regimes. It's about stability, counterterrorism, and protecting American interests. It's not about precious Israel getting oil. It's about a strong alliance making the world a safer place for everyone, especially us.
Last month, Caracas received $500 million from its first oil sale under the US brokered agreement. So I guess Venezuela is getting something for their own resources. But the US intervening on behalf of Israel all around the globe costs money, creates enemies and hostilities toward the United States. But I guess it's okay as long as precious Israel gets its crude oil.
And that's a wrap, folks. We've cut through the noise and exposed the real agenda behind this narrative. It's easy to throw around loaded terms and conspiracy theories, but the truth, as always, is far more nuanced and frankly more logical. So tell me, if you appreciate us calling out the nonsense and giving you the straight talk, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next takedown. Until next time, stay informed, and as always, stay vigilant, Patriots. Stay vigilant.